Hello, hello. Oh, hello. I'm just doing a mic check. No need to pay attention. Okay.
snow-covered hills. Well, a landslide brought you down. The landslide will bring it down.
You remember the days when that song would be the first thing that came up in your mind when you thought of Miley Cyrus? Now, anyways, just one more reminder for anyone new who's come into the audience, we still have an extra sign-in sheet back there, all nice and blank and crisp, waiting for some names to be put on it. And so, yeah, for any newcomers, please sign up on that sheet, get yourself up on this podium, and get recognized. But now we move on to our next performer, someone who stood with the KWH Speakeasy for the past couple of years. Please welcome to the stage, Puppet Master.
Okay.
To get the music. Could we ask you to switch with the next person?
Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Then the next performer we have up is Mo. Okay, awesome. Give it up for Mo.
Happy to be here. I'm a big Puppet Master fan and generally a fan of open mics. Just a quick content warning. There is mention of suicide in this piece. The piece is called Preferences. The other day, over lunch, my father said to me, "Oh, Mo, maybe you'll get a kick out of this. Have you read Bartleby the Scrivener?" I said I had, and it's one of my favorites. He said he'd never gotten around to reading it. He continued to tell me about an interview he read in the New York Times Book Review with an author who is also a fan, who said it was her favorite story. She apparently went on to say that if she could meet any dead author and ask them a question, she would simply ask Melville, "Why?" My father was curious. "Why what?" he asked me. Having never read it, presumably he was unaware of the essential mystery of the book. Why does Bartleby prefer not to? Why does he starve to death in a prison cell rather than do a relatively simple job? Why won't he fight for his life? I explained the plot and the ideas of the book. Bartleby works in a law office, the employee of the narrator of the story. When asked to do something outside of his daily tasks, he refuses, politely, saying that he'd prefer not to. Eventually, he does less and less even of his assigned work, until he simply stares at a wall all day. Around this time, it is discovered that Bartleby is living in the office. When he is inevitably fired and evicted, he ends up imprisoned and then prefers not to eat, starving to death. I particularly focused on my favorite exchange, the one that amuses me the most, where the unnamed employer probes Bartleby's resolve by saying, "You won't do it?" And Bartleby meekly responds, "I'd prefer not to." My father asked why I was so drawn to that moment especially. After giving it a second of thought, I responded, because it's the whole book in miniature, or at least the whole point of it for me. Bartleby is not just refusing to do things. He's daring the system to make him do things. Through weakness and timidity, he is making a bold statement, demanding that his employer, all employers, state outright, you work or you die. He wants them to articulate the threat that hangs over all employment, all capitalism. That's what I think, at least. And then my father said, well, why doesn't he just do that then? Why does his employer never say, I'm sorry, I don't care what you prefer, you have to do it? I want to take this moment and say this is not a story about my father being at heart a capitalist and me being at heart an anti-capitalist. This is also not a story about my father not understanding Bartleby the Scrivener. My father is the man who, on the night I tried to kill myself, took the knife away from me ever so gently and wrapped me in an embrace ever so fiercely. My father is the man who has spent most of his life's fortune finding me treatment and supporting me through it. I owe my life to my father, not just for parenting and raising me. I owe him my life twice. Over lunch, in the form of a commentary on Melville, I looked my father calmly in the eye and reminded him that there are people like his son, people like me, myself, that I would rather die than give in to the demands of this system. And my father, as he always has, as I hope I will always remember him doing so, looked deep into my eyes and said, but don't. So I don't, because he'd prefer I not.
Thank you, Mo, for that very inspiring and powerful narrative. You know, there are a lot of things, especially today, that I would like to say I'd prefer not to, but being up here and speaking to you all, definitely not one of them. Now, for our next performer, please welcome Puppet Master to the stage.
It's one.
Again, we do apologize for the awkward technical difficulties, but the show must go on. Please welcome the next performer, Kevin B. Saunders.
It's been a while since I've been up here. This is like a little short essay I wrote. I did it for the fun of it, but the question runs through my head a lot. So, hold on. What if Quentin Tarantino and Spike Lee made a film together? Yeah, I'd not say the same thing. This question is relevant. Both of these talented and very popular filmmakers have developed a strong reputation of being controversial. Yet, instead of it destroying their careers, it has developed a loyal and large following for each of them. Their most focused topic has been the issue concerning race. Neither director has held back in allowing actors to say and do things they normally would not do in real life. I've spent many years in researching every last movie Lee and Tarantino has made, and I've enjoyed most of them, if not all. If anyone was to ask me to pick one Spike Lee film and one Tarantino film that I like the most out of all of their films, I would quickly give my response. Spike Lee's She Hate Me and Tarantino's script From Dusk Till Dawn. Still, the question remains, what if they both decided to put their differences aside, become allies, and combine their visions? All in a nutshell, that would be publicly and cinematically dangerous. Currently, the both of them are rivals. Each is offended by the other's films, but I don't know why, because again, they both tackle the same topics. Is that a bad thing? Not at all, because every artist deserves the freedom of expression, even though it may sometimes hurt to exercise that freedom. People have asked them how did they learn to make movies, and at different times, both responded that they learned to make movies by watching movies. It was similar to how people have asked me how I learned to write. And my first answer was that I learned to write by picking up a book, reading it, and writing stories of my own. I began my first story in 1976. It was a science fiction piece. Yeah, I did not get my first book published until 2001 because Rome wasn't built in a day. It was a struggle due to the many horrible things I had seen in my life, but it has shaped me into the writer I am now. I guess I could say that, and I guess I could say the same for these two filmmakers. Yet the question remains, what if Quentin Tarantino and Spike Lee made a film together?
All right. Third time's the charm. We're ready for you now, Puppet Master. Please welcome the long-awaited Puppet Master to the stage.
Thank you. Woo!
Another banger as always, Puppet Master. Now, for our next performer, will Elijah Baskins please come up to the stage?
Hi guys, I've never read this one out loud before. It's a spoken word piece I wrote a couple years ago. It's called Text Message from a Ouija Board. Woke up and found myself in a passive aggression summoning circle where everyone says they like me, but hurtful. The insult is nonverbal, and if I say otherwise, I get a reversal, where I'm the bad guy and the sentence is eternal damnation. Just send me to hell already, stop playing. I'm ready to say goodnight, shove my head in the oven and take flight. The pilot is lit, right? Hey, everything is going white. I think I see the gaslight at the end of my tunnel vision. A headlong collision, without parental supervision, into the garden of Elysian. Bleeding from my wrist like it's just cellular division. I saw it once on cable television. It can't be worse than circumcision or more Christian superstition. About the judgment on my soul, I didn't sell it, it was stole. Or maybe I was possessed. Yeah, I was born blessed, if that's what they're calling depressed. Kids these days, what'll we do next? I'll confess, I stopped trying my best when I found out it was a waste to sell a bluff and pretend I'm tough. They even pinned Jesus to the cross. Isn't that example enough? I'm ready for the handcuffs, the clipped wings, and torture snuff. Tell me, God, between just us, is that what you call justice? Don't you trust us to be lustless? What happened to my moral compass? They used to say I was well adjusted, but I've been busted. Now I'm in therapy for how disgusted I've become with myself. She says it's called self-loathing, but what they don't tell you is the devil wears nice clothing and blows perfect smoke rings. If that's so bad, then maybe I'm undeserving. Or is that a mistranslation about my fixation on wickedness, another word for bitchiness, skipping that old school witchiness? Where's my prophecy about how I'm supposed to be? Now that I'm an adult, like what's the real difference between a club and a cult? Maybe I should start my own all alone, me against the unknown, and bang the pulpit and scream everything I don't know now that I'm finally grown. I need an intervention or someone to splash me with holy water before I produce a daughter or become an author. They tell me not to falter, but my monster's a sweet talker who's always stronger, a marauder, a night walker, a squatter in my mind, a rich pauper who builds his own altar. Calling himself he who loves us most, haunting me through an imprint on the toast. Blessed be this game, but not the host. It doesn't really matter now that I'm finally diagnosed. I'm signing off now. I can't keep afloat. Hope someone covers my post, because by the time you read this, I'll be just a ghost.
Thank you for those sick rhymes. Now up, we have Jed Baronia. Give it up for Jed, a longtime Speakeasy favorite. He's making his way. All right, give it up for Jed again.
Hello, everyone. So a quick story. I actually missed, I think, the last Speakeasy we did. I'm usually here every month or whatever it is. I was dealing with a little bit of a cold. Is this close enough? A little bit of a cold and a bit of depression. So as long as I have this platform, I want